My name is Madison Cole, and I am 28 years old living in the beautiful and often rainy city of Portland, Oregon. For a long time, I thought I had found my place in the city of coffee shops and pine trees. I had a steady job working in marketing and a social circle that felt like family. At the center of that circle was Lauren. Lauren was the kind of person who walked into a room and immediately became the person everyone wanted to talk to. She was tall and always dressed in the latest fashion trends, and she had a way of making you feel like you were the most important person in the world when she was focused on you. We were best friends for 3 years, and I shared everything with her. We went to the gym together every morning at 6 o'clock, and we spent our weekends exploring the hiking trails around Mount Hood or trying out new brunch spots in the Pearl District. I trusted her with my deepest secrets and my biggest fears. I told her about my struggles with my family and my anxieties about my career. Looking back, I realize I was handing her the ammunition she would later use to blow my life apart. The trouble started slowly. It was like a leak in a pipe that you do not notice until the basement is flooded. Lauren started making small comments about how other people were talking about me. She would lean in close and whisper that our friend Sarah thought I was being too bossy or that our friend Jessica thought I was dressing poorly. At first, I was hurt and confused because I thought those women were my friends too. But Lauren was always there to comfort me. She would tell me that she was the only one who truly had my back and that I should be careful about what I said to anyone else. This is what I now know is called gaslighting. She was creating a wall between me and the rest of the world, and I was too blind to see it. Then the narrative shifted. Lauren started accusing me of the very thing she was doing. She started telling me that she had heard rumors that I was talking behind her back. She said that people were coming to her with stories of me calling her selfish and manipulative. I was horrified. I would never say those things about her. I spent hours crying and apologizing for things I had never done. I tried to prove my loyalty by being even nicer to her and buying her gifts and always being available whenever she called. But the more I tried to fix it, the more she pushed me away. She would go days without texting me back, and then she would send a long message about how disappointed she was in my behavior. My mental health started to suffer. I felt like I was walking on eggshells every single day. I was constantly checking my phone and wondering what I had done wrong now. The climax of her cruelty came on my 28th birthday. I had been looking forward to this day for months. I had planned a small dinner at my favorite Italian restaurant, and I had invited our whole group of friends. Lauren had been acting strange for a week, but I hoped she would put our issues aside for one night. 2 hours before the dinner was supposed to start, I received a long text message from her. She told me that she could no longer be friends with someone as dishonest and toxic as me. She said she had proof that I had been telling people she was obsessed with her own reflection and that I was jealous of her success. She told me she had contacted everyone in our group and told them the truth about me. She said they had all decided it would be best if they did not come to my dinner. I sat on my bed in my birthday dress and cried until my eyes were swollen shut. Nobody showed up to the restaurant. I sat there alone at a table for 10 people while the waiters gave me looks of pity. It was the most humiliating and lonely moment of my life. I spent the next few months in a dark cloud of depression. I mourned the loss of the friendship like it was a death. I stayed away from the places we used to go because I could not bear the thought of seeing her. I quit the gym we went to, and I stopped posting on social media. I felt like I had been erased from my own life, but then something inside me started to change. The sadness turned into a cold and quiet anger. I realized that Lauren had planned that birthday move to cause the maximum amount of pain. She wanted to destroy me, and I decided that I was not going to let her win. I started going back to the gym, but I went at a different time than before. I stayed in the shadows and I watched. I noticed that Lauren was still there every morning with her new best friend, a girl named Mia. They were always laughing and taking selfies in the mirrors. It hurt to see how easily I had been replaced. But as the weeks went by, I noticed something interesting. The laughter seemed more forced. Mia started looking tired and stressed. They stopped talking as much during their workouts. Eventually, they stopped coming together at all. I continued to observe from a distance. I saw Lauren trying to latch onto other girls in the gym, but she seemed to be cycling through them quickly. One morning in late December, I saw Mia sitting on a bench near the locker rooms. She looked like she had been crying. Usually, I would have walked away to avoid any drama, but something told me to stay. I walked over to her and asked if she was okay. She looked up at me with red eyes, and for a second I thought she was going to yell at me because of whatever lies Lauren had told her. Instead, she just shook her head and started sobbing. I sat down next to her and put my arm around her shoulders. She told me that she had just quit her job because the environment was so toxic and she felt like her whole life was falling apart. She said she felt like she had no one to talk to. I did not mention Lauren at first. I just listened. I offered her a tissue and told her that things would get better. We ended up talking for an hour. Over the next few weeks, Mia and I started working out together. We became fast friends. It turned out that she was a wonderful person who had been through a lot of the same things I had. One day, while we were grabbing coffee after a workout, the topic of Lauren finally came up. Mia looked at me with a guilty expression and said she had something to tell me. She confessed that Lauren had told her horrible things about me when they first started hanging out. She said Lauren had told her I was a stalker and a liar. But Mia said she realized pretty quickly that Lauren was the one who was lying. She said Lauren had treated her terribly for the last few months. She was constantly gaslighting her and demanding all of her time and getting angry if Mia spoke to anyone else. Mia said she finally ended the friendship because she could not take the mental toll anymore. I felt a massive weight lift off my shoulders. I was not the crazy one. I was not the problem. It was always her. Mia and I became even closer after that. She introduced me to some of the other girls in the social circle that Lauren had tried to keep me away from. I was nervous at first because I assumed they all hated me, but to my surprise, they were all incredibly kind. We started hanging out in small groups and then larger ones. I found out that almost everyone in that circle had a story about Lauren. They knew she was a liar. They knew she used people for her own benefit. When I asked why they were still friends with her, they all said the same thing. They said they really were not friends with her. They just had a gym friendship with her because it was easier than dealing with her drama if they cut her off completely. They called her the gym ghost because she was always there, but nobody really wanted to be around her. They told me that they had been waiting for the right moment to distance themselves from her for good. This was the opening I needed. I did not have to do anything mean or loud. I just had to be the person Lauren said I was not. I was kind and supportive, and I showed up for people. I started hosting small get-togethers at my apartment. I invited Mia and Sarah and Jessica and several others. We would drink wine and talk for hours. I made sure to take lots of photos and post them on my Instagram account. I knew Lauren would see them. I wanted her to see that I was back and that I was with her people. The revenge was slow and sweet. Every time I posted a photo of our group at a brunch or a hiking trip, I would see Lauren's name in the list of people who viewed my story. She was watching me live the life she tried to steal from me. One weekend, we all decided to go on a trip to the Oregon coast. We rented a big house in Cannon Beach and spent the whole time laughing and cooking meals together. It was the kind of trip Lauren used to organize and used to control everyone. But she was not there. She was not invited. I posted a group photo of all of us standing on the beach with the haystack rock in the background. We all looked so happy and relaxed. Within 10 minutes of posting it, I got a notification. Lauren had blocked me. That felt like a victory, but the real climax was yet to come. It was New Year's Eve, and our group had decided to go to a big party at a hotel downtown. We were all dressed up in sequins and suits. We had a large corner booth reserved, and we were having the time of our lives. About an hour before midnight, I saw a familiar figure across the room. It was Lauren. She was wearing a dress that was far too small, and she was standing alone by the bar. She looked miserable. She was scanning the room, probably looking for someone she knew. Her eyes landed on our booth. She saw Mia and Sarah and Jessica, and then she saw me. I did not look away. I smiled at her and raised my glass in a toast. I saw her face turn bright red. She started walking toward our booth with a look of fake joy on her face. She tried to act like nothing had ever happened. She greeted everyone loudly and tried to slide into the booth next to Sarah. But Sarah did not move. She just looked at Lauren and said that there was no room at the table. Lauren laughed nervously and said she was just joking and that she was so happy to see everyone. Then she looked at me and said she was surprised to see me out and about. She said it in a tone that was meant to be condescending. Before I could even say a word, Mia stood up. Mia told Lauren that she should probably leave. She told her that no one in this group wanted her here and that they were all tired of her lies and her games. Lauren tried to play the victim. She started crying and saying that she did not understand why everyone was being so mean to her. She looked at the other girls for support, but they all just looked away or looked at their phones. She was completely alone in a room full of people she thought she controlled. It was a poetic moment. She had tried to make me feel this exact way on my birthday, and now it was happening to her on the biggest party night of the year. She realized that she had no power left. She turned around and ran out of the hotel. I heard later that she had deactivated all of her social media accounts for a while. The aftermath of that night was peaceful. Our group of friends became even tighter. We call ourselves the survivors of the Lauren era. I realized that the best revenge was not doing something terrible to her. The best revenge was just living a good life and letting her own toxic behavior finish her off. I have changed a lot since this all started. I am much more careful about who I let into my inner circle. I look for consistency and kindness instead of just charisma. I also learned that I am much stronger than I thought I was. I survived the psychological warfare of a narcissist, and I came out the other side with better friends and a better sense of self. My life in Portland is different now. It is filled with people who actually care about me and who would never miss my birthday dinner for a lie. Sometimes I still see Lauren at the grocery store or driving her car around the city. I do not feel anger anymore. I just feel a sense of relief that she is no longer my problem. The girl who was once so scared of her shadow is gone. I am Madison Cole, and I am 28 years old, and I finally have the life I deserve. I am sitting in my favorite coffee shop, right now watching the rain fall against the window. My phone is buzzing with messages from my friends, planning our next weekend trip. I have a group of women who support me and love me for who I really am. Lauren is just a memory, now a lesson learned the hard way. The social circle she tried to use as a weapon became my safety net. And that is the sweetest revenge of all. I think about that birthday dinner sometimes not with sadness, but with a sense of gratitude. If that had not happened, I might still be under her thumb. I might still be believing her lies and trying to please her. That night was the end of a very bad chapter and the beginning of a very good one. I often think about how funny life is. You think you are losing everything when really you are just making room for something better. My friendship with Mia is one of the best things to ever happen to me. We are truly best friends, and we talk about everything. We even joke about how we should thank Lauren for bringing us together, but we never actually will. We will just keep living our lives and being happy. I know that Lauren is out there somewhere probably trying to find a new group of people to manipulate. I hope they are smarter than I was. I hope they see the red flags earlier. But even if they do not, I know that the truth eventually comes out. You can only lie for so long before people start to notice the holes in your stories. You can only treat people like garbage for so long before you find yourself standing alone at a bar on New Year's Eve. It has been several months since that night, and things have never been better. I am more confident in my work and more relaxed in my skin. I stopped checking to see if she is watching my stories because I do not care if she is or not. Her opinion of me used to be the most important thing in my life, but now it is the least important. I am surrounded by genuine people, and that is all I ever wanted. I am looking forward to my 29th birthday. This time I know exactly who will be at the table, and I know they will actually show up. We are planning a big trip to the mountains, and there will be no drama and no lies and no gaslighting. Just good music and good food and real friends. The rain in Portland does not seem so gray anymore. It feels like it is washing away the old and making everything fresh and new. I am proud of myself for how I handled everything. I did not stoop to her level. I did not spread rumors back. I just waited and watched and let the truth do the work for me. It took a long time and it was painful, but it was worth it. I am Madison Cole, and I am finally free. Every morning when I go to the fitness center, I feel a sense of pride. I see the equipment where I used to sit and cry over texts from Lauren. Now I use that same equipment to get stronger. I see the mirrors where we used to take photos, and I see a woman who is happy and healthy and independent. I do not need anyone to tell me who I am because I know who I am. I am a loyal friend and a hard worker and a person who stands up for herself. I have built a new community in this city, and it is built on a foundation of honesty and respect. If I could go back and tell my 27-year-old self anything, it would be to trust her gut. I would tell her that those little comments and those weird feelings are not in her head. I would tell her that it is okay to walk away from people who make you feel small. But since I cannot go back, I will just use what I learned to make my future better. I will continue to be the person who hugs someone when they are crying and who listens when someone is hurting. Because that is who I am, and no one can take that away from me. Not even a person like Lauren. The city of Portland is full of stories, and mine is just one of many. but it is a story of survival and triumph. It is a story of how a girl who was broken by a friendship found a new family in the wreckage. I am happy with where I am and who I am with. And as the sun starts to peek through the clouds over the Willamette River, I know that everything is going to be just fine. I am living my best life, and that is the only thing that matters in the end. I have reached a point where I can even look back at the old photos of us and not feel a sting in my chest. I just see two people who were never meant to be in each other's lives for the long haul. I see a girl who is learning a very difficult lesson about boundaries and self-worth. I am glad I learned it at 28 rather than 48. My career is also going better than ever because I am not spending all my emotional energy on trying to manage Lauren's moods. I have more focus and more drive. My boss even commented on how much more confident I seem in meetings. It is amazing how much one person can hold you back without you even realizing it. When you remove that weight, you find that you can fly. My story is not one of a big explosion or a public fight. It is a story of a quiet shift in power. It is about the strength it takes to stay silent and let the world see the truth on its own. It is about finding your people and realizing that you were never the problem. I am Madison Cole, and I am 28 years old living in Portland, Oregon, and I am finally at peace. The gym ghost can stay in the shadows while I stay in the light with my real friends. We have so many plans for the summer, and I cannot wait to experience them all. We are going to go to the rose gardens and the outdoor concerts and the street fairs. We are going to make memories that are based on joy instead of fear. And every time we take a group photo, I will remember that I am exactly where I am supposed to be. I am not the rumor she spread. I am the woman who replaced her in the hearts of the people she tried to keep for herself. And that is the most authentic version of my story. I hope that anyone else going through this realizes that it gets better. You just have to hold on and wait for the rain to stop. Because in Portland, the rain always stops eventually, and when it does, everything is green and beautiful. I am ready for the sunshine. I am ready for the next chapter. And I am definitely ready for my next birthday. It is going to be the best one yet. I can feel it in my bones. The 29th year of my life is going to be about growth and laughter and deep, meaningful connections. No more gaslighting and no more being made to feel like I am not enough. I am more than enough. I am Madison Cole, and I am a survivor. I am a friend. I am a woman who knows her worth. And that worth is not defined by someone else's lies. It is defined by my own actions and my own heart. I am happy. I am free. I am home. My journey through this mess has taught me that the people who try to bring you down are usually the ones who are the most afraid of your light. Lauren tried to dim my light so she could feel brighter, but all she did was leave herself in the dark. I will keep shining as bright as I can. I will keep being the person who brings people together. I will keep being Madison Cole, and I will never let anyone make me feel small again. This is my revenge, and it is beautiful. It is the kind of revenge that does not leave a bad taste in your mouth. It is the kind that makes you sleep better at night. I am grateful for the lessons, and I am grateful for the friends. I am grateful for my life in this rainy, wonderful city, and I am very grateful that I am no longer Lauren's friend. That was the best birthday gift I ever received, even if it took me a while to realize it. Now I am going to finish my coffee and meet my real friends for a hike. The air is crisp and the trees are calling. Life is good. It is really, really good. I have learned that the best way to handle a person like Lauren is to simply become unavailable to them. Not just physically unavailable, but emotionally unavailable too. I no longer care what she thinks or what she says. She has lost her power over me completely. And that is the ultimate goal of any revenge story. To reach a place where the person who hurt you no longer matters at all. I have reached that place, and it feels amazing. I look at the people around me and I see genuine smiles and honest eyes. I see a community that is built on trust. And I know that I am a part of that community. I am not an outsider looking in anymore. I am right in the middle of it, exactly where I belong. The gym ghost can keep her selfies and her fake smiles. I have something real. I have a life that I am proud of. And that is all I need. I am Madison Cole, and this is my story. It is a story of a girl who lost a friend but found herself. It is a story of how the truth always wins in the end, and it is a story that I am happy to tell. Because if it helps even one person realize that they are being gaslighted, then it was all worth it. You are not crazy. You are not the problem. You are just in the wrong circle, and you have the power to change that. I did, and it was the best thing I ever did. Now I am going to go live my life, and I am going to enjoy every single second of it. No more looking back, only looking forward to the bright and beautiful future that is waiting for me. I am Madison Cole, and I am 28 years old, and I am exactly who I want to be. The end of my friendship with Lauren was the beginning of my real life. And I am so glad it happened. It was the hardest thing I ever went through, but it made me the woman I am today. And I really like the woman I am today. She is strong and she is kind and she is surrounded by love. And that is the best revenge anyone could ever ask for. I hope Lauren finds peace someday, but I am no longer the one who has to help her find it. I am only responsible for my own peace. And I have found it in the most unexpected way. I have found it in the support of the people she tried to turn against me. I have found it in the quiet mornings at the gym without her drama. And I have found it in the mirror every single day. I am Madison Cole, and I am finally okay. More than okay, I am great, and I am just getting started. The world is big and full of wonderful people who do not play games. I am going to find all of them, and I am going to be their friend. And I am going to make sure they know how much I appreciate them. Because that is what real friends do. They show up. They tell the truth. They stay. And I am so lucky to have people like that in my life now. I am done with the gym ghost. I am moving on to bigger and better things, and I am doing it with a smile on my face. This is my story, and I am proud of it. It is a story of revenge, but it is also a story of love and friendship and finding your way back to yourself. And that is the most important part of all. I am Madison Cole, and I am happy, truly happy, for the first time in a long time, and it feels wonderful. I am ready for whatever comes next. Bring it on, world. I am ready.